This is In Depth. Decisions. When TJ and I are trying to determine what to watch with that Fire Stick in our hands, we realize we are looking at an infinite menu of entertainment at home, much of it filled with movies. After the pandemic, one thing, though, has survived: award shows. Joining me tonight, our longtime movie critic and friend, Mr. Jim Hunter. He is a member of the Critics' Choice Association. It is the largest critics organization in the United States. And Jim, you're going to be in Los Angeles this coming weekend. First of all, tell me what your role is in this and what are you going to be doing?
So I'm a member, as you said, of the Critics' Choice Association. All of that is as a result of my work here at the station. Every Friday morning in the 8 o'clock hour, I'm doing movie reviews, box office reports, and previews. And I was able to apply for and then get accepted to membership into the CCA. And so I'm honored to be a part of the organization.
Well, I know you've worked very hard. You've been very passionate. And this is not just like submitting a couple of movie reviews on IMDb. I know that you've covered a lot of ground. So let's get to your picks. We'll get started. Best Picture for the
Best
Critics'
Picture.
Choice.
So yeah, I mean, these are actual votes. I am 0.2% of the voting members for this, and I am voting for Everything Everywhere All at Once for Best Picture. Yeah. There are a lot of good movies this year. Some of my favorites weren't actually nominated. Armageddon Time and She Said were my two favorite movies of the year, but my third favorite movie is this story about a woman who is able to access the multiverse just as she's being pursued by a big bad villain whom I'm not going to reveal. One of the great surprises of this movie is actually who that villain is, and I think that this is one of the most inventive, interesting, and heartfelt films of the year. I absolutely loved Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think there's a little bit of an issue with some of the jokes that probably got carried on a little bit too long, but aside from that, this is a movie that promises everything everywhere all at once, and boy does it deliver.
And usually great movies have great direction, so your pick for Best Director.
The directing team, the Daniels, Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert, they are the directors of Everything Everywhere All at Once, and they previously did a film called Swiss Army Man, which was Daniel Radcliffe and Paul Dano film. This is Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's a brilliant film that does a lot with a little. It's only got a $30 million budget, but what you see on the screen is more impressive than some of the things we see in the bigger budget Marvel films.
I remember Brendan Fraser in Blast from the Past, one of my favorite movies that he did, and also The Mummy. But he is in the movie The Whale, and he has had a personal struggle for many years, but you have him picked for Best Actor. Tell me why.
I will be voting for Brendan Fraser, and I think that Brendan Fraser will win. I think there's probably a little bit more of a question about some of my other votes, but Brendan Fraser certainly gives the best performance by an actor in a film this year. He plays a man with who's 600 pounds and confined to his house. He realizes very early on in the film that he is going to die, and so he tries to reconnect with his daughter. The film is, I have a little bit of an issue with some elements of the film, but it is carefully, caringly, and sympathetically made, and this film does not work without a brilliant central performance, and Brendan Fraser absolutely delivers that. This is a well-deserved, you mentioned some of the off-screen issues. Even without the sort of comeback story that is Brendan Fraser's career, this is a well-deserved nomination and hopefully a win.
Best Actress now.
Best Actress, I'm going with Danielle Deadwyler for Till. It is most likely that there are some other nominees that will get other votes and probably will take the win. But in terms of what I am personally voting for and what I think is the best performance of the year, it is the mother of Emmett Till. This is the story of her resilience after the lynching death of her son. It is a film that is very careful to not center Black trauma as the central conflict of the film, and it is instead about this woman and her dealing with this unspeakable tragedy, which then sort of started the civil rights movement and whatnot.
It was the catalyst, indeed.
Daniel Deadweiler is getting my vote for Best Actress.
Okay, we've got about a minute left, and I know you and I have worked on those Oscar presentations of local impact and everything. Your percentage of getting these nominations right, these winners right. Last question here. The movies. I'm amazed at how it's kind of exploded once again, production after the pandemic. How's the state of making films now after all this?
Yeah, I mean, it certainly has changed as a result of the pandemic. I think if you look at the box office takes, they are significantly less than what we were at before the pandemic. So there is still a long road to recovery. It is entirely possible that we'll never fully get there because the way people are consuming media has changed probably irrevocably after the pandemic. Still, people love stories, and film is a great medium to tell stories.
The Critics' Choice Awards coming up on the CW7 Sunday night, I believe, at 7.
Sunday night at 6. At 6, yes.
Yeah, at 6. All right. Jim Hunter, thank you so much. Member of the Critics' Choice organization, thank you so much for talking to us tonight.
Thank you, Brad.
All right. We'll be right back.